I've got 1,000 more questions. They're pulling me out of here.
Please ask one more. Please ask one more.
One more.
Please.
Can we please?
Please. Please.
Now I'm nervous about my last question.
No.
Oh God,
The
make it
song
good.
that I'm most looking forward to in part 2 is For Good.
Because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Ooh.
This idea of we may not be changed for the better, but this person has changed us for the rest of our lives. In what ways the person sitting next to you changed you for good?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
It's been a long road to get here, and emotions are running high. Understandably so.
All the rehearsals, all the auditions, none of it counts. Just right now. Yeah. 2 takes, that's it. Let's go!
After decades of waiting,
popular.
the highly anticipated big screen adaptation of the musical Wicked is finally flying into theaters.
This wicked witch.
And it's giving stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande the chance to go back to the beginning.
You did. You made a movie.
Not just to the iconic musical that opened on Broadway back in 2003 and went on to win 3 Tony Awards, but even further back, down the yellow brick road.
You stay out of this, Glinda, or I'll fix you as well.
Oh, rubbish. You have no power here. Be gone.
I want to go way back to the beginning. I want you to imagine you could sit in a movie theater, you're sitting next to Margaret Hamilton, you're sitting next to Billy Burke,
Gosh.
and you're all watching Wicked together. When it's done, you lean over and go, what'd you think about how I did this? What is the aspect of your performances, of your interpretations of these characters you would love to get their thoughts on?
Oh my goodness. That's such
That's
a
an
special
amazing
question.
question.
Oh my goodness.
For Margaret, I think I would ask her how she feels about the humanity in it.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
If she appreciates that we filled her with the humanity and we got to see her coming to it more. I think that would make her happy. And what we'd done with her look, maybe I'd ask her about that too.
I'm Glinda, the Witch of the North.
Glinda's a tough one because she starts in a very different place than she ends. And I think that where she starts isn't mean or evil, she just doesn't know any better. And I think that, showcasing her growth and her learning to look outside herself is something that I just want to protect the fact that she has had goodness inside the entire time. So I would like to ask that. That would have been
That's a
my
good question.
I love that.
That was a beautiful
That's
question.
a really
for
lovely
you.
question.
Thank you.
Just you and I defying gravity. With you and I defying gravity.
For Erivo, the role of Elphaba, the infamous Wicked Witch of the West, is one whose path leads to one of the most iconic moments in Broadway history. In fact, the entire movie comes down to that song.
So if you can't find me, look to the western sky.
The moment that Elphaba says, so if you care to find me, look to the western sky. I want to know how you decided you were going to deliver that line. And do you remember the day that you knew, okay, today's the day I have to sing it, and how you wrapped your head around that line specifically?
I think I always knew that I wanted to make it as tied to reality as possible, so that I meant it. Like if you have to find me, I'm up here. This is where I'm gonna be.
So if you care to find me, look to the western sky.
So I kind of knew that's how I wanted to approach it, so that there was grit and power in it, because I think it's the first time that she gets to make a choice for herself and tell people where she's going to be and tell people who she is. And at first I was trepidatious because I wanted to do it justice the way it had been done. I remember Stephen Schwartz said, I trust you as a storyteller, so I want you to do this the way you know how to do it. And so that gave me the permission to just fly.
Loathing for forever, loathing truly.
Ariana Ariana Grande knows what it's like to perform in front of an audience. And while she might not get to take her performance as Glinda the Good Witch to the Broadway stage, there is something about the role she wishes she could share with a live audience.
What is the song, the line, maybe even a small moment of Glinda's you would love to perform in front of 1,933 people just to get that energy back and know immediately what they thought of a choice that you made?
Oh my goodness. That's a very thoughtful question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's moving. I think I would say, maybe Look, It's Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that means that can do a lot of things. It's funny, but it's really beautiful. And I think it can hit people different ways. And I like seeing the different responses to that line. Because yes, it's funny and playful and silly, but it's also really beautiful.
Yeah.
Pink goes good with green.
Goes well with green.
It so does. That's my favorite thing about Glinda. I think sometimes she says things she doesn't realize the weight that they hold, and maybe that Elphaba might need to hear them in that moment, even if they sound simple and silly.
And with an assist from me to be who you'll be, instead of dreaming who you were, there's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular.
It's a busy time for these two stars. The days leading up to the release of Wicked are packed with premieres, red carpets, and even more interviews. Their time is limited and valuable. And yet,
I've got 1,000 more questions. They're pulling me out of here.
Please ask one more. Please ask one more. Please.
Can we please?
Please.
Now I'm nervous about my last question.
Oh God,
The
make it
song
good.
that I'm most looking forward to in part 2 is For Good. This idea of we may not be changed for the better, but this person has changed us for the rest of our lives. In what ways the person sitting next to you changed you for good?
You are very good. You are very good.
Oh my gosh.
Well. Yeah. I think we found a little piece of ourselves in each other. I think there are little pieces of us that when we got to do this together, when we first started, each of us was missing like a little chunk. And I think we've been able to see in each other a bit of a reflection. And so I think I've gotten a little bit of her softness, and she's got
Her strength.
a little bit of my strength.
Yeah. Truthfully, we're a bunch of crybabies over here.
if Wicked has taught us anything, it's that no story is ever done being told. Erivo and Grande will return to the big screen next year with the second half of the story, Wicked Part 2. But until then, audiences around the world will fly on, having been changed for good.
Thank you
And
very
on
much.
behalf
I love you
of
too.
everyone who loves this show and for whom this show means a lot to, I just want to say thank you.
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank
I
you very
appreciate
much.
you.
Oh, you're
Please,
great.
you're
This was
wonderful.
wonderful. Thank you.